Hey, what's up, my lovely Virgo friends? This is your monthly forecast for the month of July 2017. Woo, and it is hot out here, let me tell you. Before we get started, I just wanted to briefly remind you guys that I do offer personalized readings and horoscopes because this video right here is a general forecast for those of you born with either the sun, the moon, or your rising / ascendant sign in the sign of Virgo. And if you don't know what your moon or your rising or ascendant sign are, I've put a link or two below this video to where you can go and look up your birth chart that shows your full chart of you and what signs are most dominant in your personality, to where you have to look at different horoscopes every month for each sign. So this is generally for Virgo, but yeah, if you would like something more personal, shoot me an email, which is also in the description box. And I will be happy to reply and let you know how you can schedule and pay for a reading with myself. Now on to your general July forecast. So my Virgo people, your biggest focus this month is going to be mainly on your friends, your friendships. If you're not really into the whole friend thing, hanging out with groups of friends, then it's mostly going to be if you are involved in like any type of humanitarian efforts, or if you belong to any group, certain group or organization that you like associate yourself with representing. And then the energy is going to shift towards the end of the month to feeling a little bit more introverted. A lot of introspect, a lot of retrospect will be going on, and it may be a little bit more of an emotional time. I know, boo, right? But anyway, I swear it's not that bad, Virgo. But let me break down the energies in detail of this month for you. So your 11th house is highlighted this month, Virgo. That's because Cancer is 11 signs from Virgo, if you count your own sign first. And the 11th house is all about groups. Groups either of friends, whether close friends, acquaintances. If you belong to any type of Facebook group even, you know, it focuses on that. Or just groups of like-minded people. If you're in a study group, if you're in a group of people who are associated with a certain subject, a certain talent, I mean anything. It's all about networking as well. Networking on a large, broad scale, like social media. Social media is ruled by the 11th house. The 11th house is one of the houses that rules social media. So what this means is you're going to be a little bit more active this month in those areas. So let's start out with the sun. The sun is a big flashlight in the sky, but whatever area of your life it's traveling through, it also plays the same role. So you're going to be seeing things in the groups that you belong to and in your friendships in a more clearer vision, okay? You're going to see the good and the bad, just being completely honest, Virgo. Also, wherever the sun is at, you are going to be shining in that area of life too. So your friends may start looking at you like, you know what, Virgo, we would like to hang out with you more, or we like you as a person who's a leader figure, and we would like to kind of step up your role within this group to kind of lead us a little bit more, you know, or be more active in this group or whatever. It can be just on a more mundane level. It can just be like your friends, like your close friends that you know, just really start paying more attention to you and wanting to spend time with you and inviting you to do some group activities. So Virgos, I know you guys are generally speaking about the energy of Virgo, okay? It's usually an energy that is very much attached to their work. You guys are workaholics, and the reason being is because Virgo doesn't like to leave things incomplete. You guys like to make sure that the job is done. Like, you will not stop. You'll keep going and going until the job is done. So it's hard to peel you away from work a lot of times, but this month your friends are going to want to try to get you to do that, you know, and hang out a little bit more. So you may be the one that's actually looking at your friends in that light as well and saying, you know what, I guess work can wait. Or maybe I can just hurry up and get it done a little faster so I can spend time with my friends. Those are possibilities. Now, Mercury is going to be in this house until the 13th of July. So Mercury in the 11th is a time where your mind is going to be going a little bit more outside the box. Like when people present problems to you, which Virgos, you guys are natural problem solvers, you're going to be able to come up with more like out of the box strategies, or ask people, well, did you think about this? Well, how come you didn't think about this avenue or that avenue? Why are you stuck on the same way of doing things? Or you're going to be like, I knew that already. I already know this. Why are you telling me this? Just being honest, that's like a little bit of the energy of the 11th house. What can happen when your thought processes are, activated in that area by Mercury. But Mercury also represents friendship. So here's more friendship energy. Chatting and talking a little bit more amongst groups of friends or like-minded individuals, coming up with some ideas by putting your head together with different like-minded people. So it's a great time definitely for networking. If you are involved in any type of internet group or activity, you're going to be more active. You're going to be feeling like putting yourself out there a little bit more on social media, even if that's not part of like a job or career or hobby. Just in general, being on social media more is going to take up some of your time. Now with Venus being in this same house, in the 11th house until the 12th of July, wherever Venus travels is how you're going to be enjoying yourself. It's how you express yourself in love, or where you can meet love if that's something you're open to. So Venus in the 11th, enjoying yourself amongst groups of people, enjoying yourself amongst your friends more, maybe going shopping a little bit more. And like I said, the 11th house is a little bit more out of the box type of energy. So you may feel like trying new and different ways of enjoyment. The 11th house is also associated with technology. So maybe buying some new techie toys to play with to enhance your life in some sort of way, or even just for fun. That could be something that you enjoy doing during this time. Or if you are open to love and relationships, Venus traveling through this house can definitely spark up a romance between yourself and someone within a group that you belong to, or between yourself and a friend. Like maybe this friend might start looking a little bit good to you in a more than friendly way, or vice versa. You may have a friend that actually approaches you with a proposition that is a little more than friendly during this time. So Virgo, if you're open to that, this may be something that happens. So there's a new moon in your 11th house in the sign of Cancer, 12 degrees Cancer, on July 4th. The new moon is when the sun and the moon come together in the same sign, in the same degree, at the same point, and they birth something new. Because, the sun is like a paternal energy, the moon is a maternal energy, so they come together. They are on fertile ground, and they birth something brand new in your life in that area. So for you, you may join a new group, you may gain a new friendship, you may have to let something go in order for new to be invited in, or to open up the door to something new. Like maybe leave a group or leave a friendship behind that's not good for you anymore, because the opposite to this new moon is Pluto, and Pluto is a planet of great transformations. Pluto is a planet that represents like extreme life and death situations. Ooh, that's kind of scary, right? But this isn't really too much of a scary thing. It can just mean that something really has to transform, like really be wiped out in order for you to have a new beginning in this area. So yeah, it could be a friendship. You know what? If it was not good for you, if it was not beneficial for you anymore, or maybe you found out something about a friend, just let it go. It'll open the door to maybe a new friendship with someone who is a lot better for you. Yeah, the same with like a group that you belong to. Maybe you might find that you guys aren't really connecting on a like-minded level anymore. Maybe they may say something that kind of sparks your mind to be like, you know what, I don't agree with this group and the direction that they're going anymore, so I'm just gonna leave, and then maybe an opportunity to join a different one comes in. So those are just a few possibilities with the new moon on July 4th. So as I mentioned earlier, ooh, look at my hair. So as I mentioned earlier, the energy is gonna shift to your 12th house, because the planets are gonna start shifting into the sign of Leo, and that's 12 signs from Virgo. The 12th house is an energy that is very emotionally deep. It is where you kind of go underwater, so to speak, and you kind of stay down there, and you kind of, reflect back on your life, reflect back on the last year, because you know what, next month, Virgo season is going to begin, and this is your birthday, and every year on your birthday, it's like starting a new 12-month cycle, a new yearly cycle. So before that, Virgos, you guys know, before you start something new, you have to complete the old, right? So what you're going to be doing is really reflecting back on the last year, or maybe even way previous to that, on everything. It can be your love life, your career, your life path, especially because when it's Virgo season, you're really going to be taking some more actions towards your life path and what you want to do next in life. You know, you're going to be really thinking about that more. So the time when the energy is in your 12th house, you just kind of really go within. You know, people will be like, Virgo, you're more quiet this month. You know, you're more quiet during this time. What's wrong? Is there something wrong? You may be more emotional, to be honest. And I know Virgos and emotions are not really something that gets along. It's kind of like oil and water mixing together. But honestly, you are going to be an emotionally deep person. This is because the sun is going to be there. You know, the sun is going to shine a light all through that deep, dark 12th house. And the 12th house is also a house of your subconscious mind. You know, the things that are subconsciously hidden back there. So there can be, honestly, some things from the past that come up, you know, that come to light. But the 12th house is also an energy that's associated with like movies and things like that, okay? So your life can be playing back to you in your mind, almost like a movie, but you're seeing it from a different perspective. And you're gonna be like, oh, aha, have a lot of aha moments. Like, why didn't I see that before about this person or this situation? You know, but now you see it more clearly with the sun in this area. It can also bring to light ways that you need to take care of your soul, take care of your spirit, you know, take care of your body. Is more of like a Virgo and like a 6th house thing. The 12th house is like taking care of your spirit, taking the time out to relax, you know, meditating, any type of spiritual practice that you may have that is associated with what you believe in as far as a higher power. So it's more of a connection to the unseen world, okay? And I know Virgos, you guys are very practical usually, and you guys really notice what's in front of you in the physical world all the time and all the details of it. But you're going to have to take some time out with this energy being highlighted to focus on what is not just physically in front of you and how you actually feel inside, how you make other people feel, how other people make you feel. So that is definitely what's highlighted with the sun there. With Mercury moving there until the 30th of the month, your mind is going to be very, very much on emotional things. And, you know, you may feel a little bit more softer, more compassionate as well. Virgos are very dutiful people. You guys are here just to do your duty and serve your purpose with no emotions involved. Just do and just give and just work, you know. But with Mercury being there, your mind is going to be a little bit more on the compassionate side, you know. The duties that you do, the activities that you do are going to be a little bit more like, oh, you know what, I really actually feel for this person, or, you know, you're really going to connect spiritually and emotionally to more of yourself and to other people during this time. Mercury being in your 12th house, since Mercury rules not only your logical, rational mind, but also your skills of the hands, it's a very creative house, actually, not just emotional. It is creative. It is the energy of being able to see things in color, full color, and in fantasy, and just think in pictures, you know, imaginative energy. It really is. So if you are in a creative field of any type, this is an excellent time for your art to really shine and come out a lot better. You can write poetry during this time if that's something you're into. You can really use your skills of the hands to draw, paint, do something like online if you work with Photoshop or any type of program that's very creative and where you have to manipulate images, for example, or music or anything like that. Your best can come out during this time, Virgo, and you will feel a little bit more like being alone. So in isolation, for more of that creative energy to come out, you know, you're going to be tuned into that channel a lot more. So great time to get things done in those regards. Also, especially because Venus rules creativity as well. And Venus will be moving into this area on the 12th of July. So all through this time, Venus and Mercury are going to be very close together. So if you pair skills of the hands and your thinking and your mind along with creativity and beauty, really, if you're an artist, especially Virgo of any kind, this is an excellent time to take advantage of this energy to show your best art and your best work. If you're not an artist, you are going to be feeling just a little bit more romantic. And please, Virgo, do not act like you are allergic to romance. Okay, you guys are famously known for that. So you may be a little romantic. Don't be afraid of it. Just really go with the flow. Speaking of romance, since Venus is going to be in the 12th house, if you are involved with someone, or say, for example, you met someone or you started talking to someone within a group, or, you know, like a friend hooked you up with someone or something like that, when the energy was previously in the sign of Cancer, in your 11th house, Now you met someone, you're checking them out, you may get something going a little bit, but you may want to just keep it on the low. Like you may not want to come out in the open with you dating this person just yet. You just want to go get to know them, be alone with them, feel them out, see how they really are as a person and as a soul. And then maybe when the energy shifts during Virgo season, you may be like, hey, guess what, everybody? Look at my new love interest. Aren't they cute? Aren't they hot? Well, continuing to speak about romance, there's a full moon happening in the sign of Capricorn on the 19th of July. This is at 27 degrees Capricorn. For my Virgos, this is your 5th house of dating and romance, like casual dating, like the type of dating that gives you butterflies in your stomach and makes your heart race and makes you feel like you cannot wait till the next time you see that person, because just being in their presence really opens your heart. And it's also an energy, if you're not interested in dating, it's like your kids, if you have kids, you know, and also if you are trying to grow a business from scratch, something that you created or a hobby that you have that you're really, really into. This full moon focuses on those things as well. Now, full moons bring things to a final decision, to a close, you know, bring things to a head. So if it is bringing a final decision in this area, you know, maybe if you're dating someone, you met someone, you can make a decision whether or not to seal the deal with them and make something permanent and exclusive, or to cut them off and let them go, because letting go is also part of the full moon at times. Now, this full moon is making a significant aspect. It's called a square, and it's an aspect that's kind of challenging, but it promotes growth. And it's making this aspect to Uranus, which is in the sign of Aries, and this is hanging out in your 8th house. The 8th house is very transformative. It's very intuitive. It's very deep. It's very like connecting to something that is unseen, and it is also like intimate connections with people. So if this full moon is challenging intimacy, then maybe something happens, because Uranus is like all of a sudden changes, right? Maybe something happens that challenges you and pushes you in a direction that is unexpected when it comes to a romantic relationship. Like it can suddenly end, or you can suddenly just be like, oh my gosh, I really feel for this person. You guys can really all of a sudden be like more intimate with one another. And that doesn't have to mean just getting your bang bang boogie on, okay? It can mean really opening up to someone, opening your soul to someone, getting to know someone on a soul level. And like I said, this could be very unexpected for you. So that's just one scenario with the full moon square Uranus. Another one can be, you know, the 5th house, it rules if you have your own business or creative hobby, something that you are actively involved in that is yours, that you create from, you know, and that you may have created from scratch. And if it's making a challenging aspect to the 8th house, the 8th house also rules, they say other people's money, but this could be like joint finances, okay? It can mean like if you're in a business partnership with someone or a company, you know, something all of a sudden happening between your business and joint business financial ventures with another person or company. So there could be a sudden windfall of money, or there can be a sudden like cutting off of that source of income, you know. So those are just a couple scenarios with the full moon. But remember, full moons are very emotional times, okay? And if you have kids, you can be a little more emotional about them around that time, or maybe just feel like your heart is more open, because this is the 5th house, which rules the heart chakra as well. So it's really challenging you to open your heart and to be a little more intimate on a soul level, whatever that means for you, Virgo. All right, so last but not least, I'm doing something new this month that I'm trying out, and that is I am going to pull one angel tarot card that really tells me what is the main focus for Virgos in July. What is the main message that you guys need to know about your lives and everything, and to focus on during the month of July. So let me shuffle and come right back. All right, Virgo, so I shuffled and I came up with this card, which is the 7 of Water. So take a look at that card. And the 7 of Water represents emotions, okay? And then remember I said your 12th house is going to be activated towards, you know, the middle to the end of the month, and the 12th house is a very deep emotional house. And this card has to do with making a complex decision, and it has to do with indecisiveness, you know, so definitely making a very emotional decision this month. And also there are 7 cups, and each one has a different color light, And each light represents one of the seven chakras. The chakras rule different points in the body and also in life. And I looked to see which one my eyes were drawn to and asked my angels, what is the message for Virgos with the one that I was drawn to, which is the orange one. And orange represents the sacral chakra. It's like in your mid area, and it represents creativity, and also it can represent fertility. So this goes along with, you know, the energy of the 12th house being very creative, and you having Venus and Mercury there. So maybe you have to make a decision about a romantic relationship. Maybe you have to make a decision about a creative project, especially because this also speaks to the full moon that's happening in your 5th house in the middle of the month, or towards the end of the month on the 19th. And the full moon in the 5th house is definitely making a decision that has to do with something creative, or maybe a romantic relationship. Like I said, maybe the decision to let it go, the decision to move forward and move ahead with it, and the decision to maybe open up your heart and your soul a little bit more to someone, or to break things off. You know, that could be some decisions that you have to make this month. But definitely that's what this card matches up with as far as the astrology. So you may have to seeking out a mentor, you know, someone who is very versed and skilled on whatever you have to make a decision regarding. Or if it has to do with romance, then maybe just someone close to you that you can turn to ask them for their advice as far as making a decision of whether or not to move forward with this romantic partnership with someone, you know. So whatever the decision is, this card is letting you know that your angels, your guides, you know, or if you don't believe in all of that, then someone here, trustworthy on earth, can be here to guide you and help you to make the right decision with emotional matters. All right, Virgos, well, that's it for your monthly forecast for July 2016. I really hope it was helpful or insightful in some sort of way. And don't forget, if you would like something more personal for me to look at, I would love to help you out. Just shoot me an email and I will get back to you and let you know all the details of how we can schedule a consultation, or I can do a video for you. So either or, all right? Well, take care of yourselves, Virgo. I will see you guys in August. Mwah. Peace.